Yo, what's up everybody? We have another weekly updates and mints video. This time we have the S&P 500 up again on the week after Jerome Powell raised rates by 0.25, which was the lowest raise in over a year. So we would of course like to see no rates, but we need to see slowing continue or even pausing before we start to see any declines. The Fed has said numerous times that this year they will not be lowering rates, but that doesn't mean that the Fed won't slow down or stop. The market took this news and ran with it. Massive gains were seen all across the board, and crypto even poked its head above some of their recent resistance. We see Bitcoin touched above 24K before rejecting it decently hard, ETH touched above 1700 before its decline, and Cardano touched 41 cents and is back down to around 38 to 39. Checking out OpenCNFT.io, we have so much volume coming in thanks to Alleykatz. We had 4 days straight well above a million, and 2 nearing 2 million ADA traded in a single day. Alleykatz minted a 10k collection at 220 ADA each, and the last NFT was minted on the 2nd. The project ran all the way to about a 650 ADA floor, and today was the first true decline in price for the cats back to around 480 to 500. Maybe different by the time this video is released. I personally grabbed 3 of these, one at 190, one at 300, and another one last night at 565. I did sell one that I bought at 190 for 590 last night, so that kind of offset the new one that I bought, and that was kind of the goal with that. So I'm just going to hold these other 2 and see what happens. What's really interesting about this volume is that many blue chip NFTs declined in price while Alleykatz rallied. I think hindsight you can easily say things like, of course, because people sold to buy more cats, but this caught me off guard. It wasn't a lot of selling, but it wasn't weak either. OG Clays fell from about 4,200 to 3,450, or fell from nearly 1k to about 700. Ape Society lost around 1k off of its floor. Spacebuds fell about 800 ADA. You get the idea, a lot of projects dipped. Will be interesting to see if the trend continues or if they recover soon. I know that Clays have some announcements in the pipeline, so it wouldn't surprise me to see them pop up again. And also, each week that goes by, buds get closer and closer to their finished artwork, so we will see. We also had Porky Island mint last week, but they were subject to a bot attack, and JPEG's minting service had some issues with that. Now the mint has been postponed. JPEG Store was also having some issues keeping up with the volume from Alleykatz early on. A few NFTs wouldn't clear off the floor, and it was making it look like the floor was a little bit cheaper than it actually was. I think most people in this space are aware that this sometimes happens, and overall right now it's probably not too big of a deal, but at the same time it could be. A lot of volume that came in was from other chains, or at least this is what people are saying, and it makes sense because we haven't seen this kind of volume in a long time. And when other people come over to our chain, we don't want these issues to be a deterrent to the new guys. This is not taking shots at JPEG Store, but rather pointing out places that we need to improve. I'm not a developer, so I don't know how to improve these things, but I hope someone does, and it eventually gets a fix. We all know we are super early, and that's fine, but if we are going to have our breakthrough moment, we are going to need to handle a lot more volume on a daily than what we are currently experiencing. Next up, we also had a long conversation with her monsters on the Atlanick Ocean podcast, and got to hear some alpha from Sev. They have their mint coming up sometime this quarter, so continue to watch out for more info on that. This week, Wednesday, we will be having on Stag Alliance and going over their upcoming mint and the overall project. Those guys are killing it, and I'm excited to see what they have coming, so set your calendar for Wednesday, 6 p.m. UTC. Next up, we got Goombles getting people ready for their mint towards the end of this month. They showed a tweet showing off their 300 OG passes that are going out, but this is a warning. There are a lot of hype mints, and when people have everything kind of going on a little crazy, we all get caught up and we click on everything. The link brings you to a page explaining the danger of clicking on these links. If you are ever skeptical or nervous about something, just ask in the Discord. People will try to scam you because there are only 300, right? So you're going to think to yourself, well, I need to get one of these really fast because there's only 300. Let me click as fast as possible and not think. But you're wrong. It is much better to miss out on one of these than to lose your entire wallet. There's really only 2 options to protect yourself. Be careful and always ask questions before clicking on the links, but then you do risk missing out on some profit, but I still recommend doing so. Or you can get a burner wallet and use that wallet to connect to websites that you're unsure of. I recommend the first option, but at least be safe with one of them. It does look legit because it's from their Twitter and it's from their Discord, but you don't know if they're ever going to be hacked. Just a friendly reminder to not lose anything to these scumbag scammers. Now, jumping into some mints, we have ADA Inmates. Inmates are going to be minted for whitelist on the 9th at 11 a.m. UTC, and you will have 12 hours to mint your whitelist. The public will then be at 11 p.m. UTC, and the mint price is going to be 130 ADA. The way that these NFTs will work is like this. There will be different types of inmates. You will have your habituals, your white collars, organized crimes, and psychopaths. Within habituals, you have your arsonist, drug addicts, thief, and assault. These guys create items that can be combined to create posters, but will need help from the white collars. Certain white collars take less time to create their posters, therefore able to create more posters over time. If you do create a poster, you can then upgrade it from a 4x6 to a 5x7, all the way up to a 20x30, and you can also stake these posters inside of your cells to earn smokes tokens. All generated items can be sold for smokes. Now, if you own a psychopath, you can create larger posters as shown in the graphic. Every 30 days, there is a percentage of the 4x6 posters that will be burnt. You will likely want to upgrade your posters because only the 4x6 posters get burnt each month. Also, a side note, the psychopaths gain entry to the Death Row Club. Within the organized crime gang, you will have drug dealers, bodyguards, contract killers, and gang bosses. Organized crime always gets their cut when an item is sold. According to the chart, it's between 1 and 5% depending on which member within the crime unit that you own. They really don't do too much work. It looks like they just kind of walk around and make sure that people pay up. This project has been well thought out in my opinion. The lowest ranking units, the habituals, are needed to create these items so that the others can create the posters. So unlike other projects where the lowest members are kind of useless and their staking potential is weak, I think this project has a fix for that. 130 ADA is a fair price, especially during this time where mints are consistently at or above 200. So I personally have my Selly roll, which lets me mint 2, and I will be minting both of mine. As always though, not financial advice, do your own research. Within the Smasher Pass section of my Discord though, it is looking pretty good with a majority of the people voting to mint. Next up is Tokenizer. This is an NFT that will give access to their bot that they are selling to their whitelisted members on February 8th, 6 p.m. UTC for $1,750 per bot. The snapshot for the amount of ADA will be taken on February 6th. There will be roughly 30 NFTs left to mint an hour later, but maybe more if not everyone mints their whitelist. This project will allow users to connect up to 30 wallets to a minting bot that will then mint a project at the same time with all the connected wallets. There is a lot of controversy surrounding this project, and I have my own views, so I'll quickly share. Bots have been around since the very beginning. Now we have one in front of us that wants to sell their version for a very high yet debatably fair price if you consider all the profits that you could make. I think projects will start having more and more whitelist only mints due to these bots, and I'm actually kind of happy that these bots are showing themselves because now people may be okay with whitelist only mints and understand why letting a project get botted is a bad idea. If you hold 5 NFTs and you flip a rare for a lot of money, and then you won't mind selling the other 4 for a slight loss to retain your profits. Now scale that to 60 NFTs, let's say you can mint 2 per wallet. Now you sold 5 to 10 rares and are dumping the floors for 20% under mint price because you just made a bunch off of the rares and are simply scaling doing the same thing. Then people in the Discord gonna type, why are people selling under mint price? It's stupid. No sir, the project has just been botted. These guys want their money back and don't care what happens to the project, rinse and repeat. I don't think it's evil, but I do think that this is horrible for public mints. The counter argument is within multiple Discord accounts and having whitelist that way as well, but that way is a lot more effort and does deter a lot of people from doing so. So in my opinion, it is better to have a Discord botted than a public mint botted, but I would love to see a solution to that as well. I'm just not sure if there is one. So what am I really saying? I'm saying if you buy this for the crazy price, then you better be anticipating some amazing public mints. If this space takes a turn to mostly whitelist, then you bought that bot for no reason. I don't know what the future holds. I don't have a whitelist. I did try. I do think it'll do well actually, but I'm not a fan of bots. I think that they devalue projects. I think that smart project owners will find ways around this. However, there will likely be some projects that are still worth botting, and congrats to anyone who profits off of it. That's pretty much everything that we have for this week. I know that we do have some other mints, but I'm not too bullish on the rest of them. We do have Poki, but that's minting today, and I already covered them in another video, and I think they'll do probably decently well. Chains of War is minting right now as well. They haven't fully sold out, but most people aren't too bullish, and I think they're a little bit under mint price right now. Virtua also was voted no, and then, of course, Ada Inmates and Clay Averis. But I know this video was also a bit more opinionated than most, but just know that I don't hate any of these projects. I think everything is a business, and it's as simple as that. Everyone wants to make money, and it's a dog-eat-dog world. If anyone completely disagrees with me and wants to have a discussion in my Discord or in the comments, I completely welcome that. But I do find it easier to have a back and forth conversation within Discord. But let's just try to keep everything civil, stay away from those exclamation marks, And anyways, remember to get outside, see your friends, see your family. We're here to make more money so that we can spend more time with them. Until next time, guys, peace.
I get it like a G, but it never came easy. You got me coughing up a lung, I wish I rap like Wheezy. I keep my pace, so I'm sorry that I'm breezy. Keep my sneaks laced, cause I can't afford Yeezys. I don't want the gold, give me BTC. Y'all be acting crazy.